Welcome to the Milk Room podcast, where fashion, art, and entrepreneurship meet. Join us as we explore stories from our creative community.
Hi, well, welcome to the Milk Room podcast. We're here. So, introduce yourself. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is James. I go by Soundbynight. I make music. I do big music for a long time. I do a lot of other things too, but for me, music has always been like the one thing that I'm really good at. The one thing that I know I can do.
Nah, I like that. Like, know what you can do. Like, you're born to make music type of energy.
Yeah, 100%. I feel that way.
No, I've known you for a bit, so like I know your music, and so, how's your journey been like? Because I know you're from Rhode Island.
Yes.
Yeah, you're from Rhode Island. You came out here to Cali. How's your Cali journey been?
Yeah, I came out here about 7 or 8 years ago, as you know, and actually my friend DJ Graphics, who's also been here. You can
Shout out Graphics. You did your listening party here with him.
Yes. He convinced me to move out here a while back, and obviously, you know, me and you went to the same school. It was a combination of a bunch of things, but yeah,
How'd you get in touch with Graphics? How you found me?
He actually, he found me on SoundCloud.
Why can I SoundCloud is?
Yes, I was big into SoundCloud way back in the day. Yeah, he found me, DM'd me through there, and I was like, oh, I'm actually, moving to Thousand Oaks, because he's like, oh, I'm in California, you should come out here. And one thing led to another, and then, yeah, that's how I made my first, musical connection out here.
Okay, that's dope. And so, how many projects have you had since you've been out here?
Damn, bro, I feel
At least what projects has like really resonated with you with your career since you've been here?
We did Call Me When You Need Me, the orange one. That was like my first like compilation album.
Okay. That was a big album.
Yeah, it was, and it was what kind of got me my first little, people actually listening to my music, like my first little shine there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun. And then we did Camp Part 1, and then You and the Moon, which was my favorite of all of them. And that's kind of when I was first out here, that was kind of like the big goal, the big project was to finish You and the Moon finally.
Why was that such a big project for you? What was it?
Dude, those songs really mean a lot to me. And me and Tan, shout out Tans, Van Gogh.
I know that man.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's going crazy. But yeah, me and Tans really put our heart and soul into those songs. He did all the production. I obviously did all the singing, all the recording, and a lot of the mixing too. And then we had some help for the masters, for like the final mixes. But
That sounds like a big process. How do you guys go about your recording process or like your ideation process of the whole
the entire album? A lot of it was in Santa Barbara, recording over there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it was at my place too, North Hollywood, where I was living back then. So it's just kind of a combination of finding time to record, which I always have a lot of. I always dedicate time to recording, but then just making sure that everything was good. And looking back at it now, like I'm so much better musically now, and I know how things should sound. But I'm still not, where I want to be at musically, and so we're still kind of chasing, my sound, and I'm still trying to find my unique sound. I have my style for sure.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between sound and style?
That's a really good question, man. I feel like sound is, through the DAW and the energy and the vocal takes, use of auto-tune, use of effects, it kind of goes into that. Style is more just like everything else, style is everything that isn't that, at least to me,
So style would be like, give an example.
Yeah, just like album art.
Oh, okay.
The way I dress.
Yeah.
The
More like an aesthetic almost.
Aesthetic is, that's an even better word, yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I feel like, it's a trip, like you're like speaking on it, like when you're a music artist, you're really almost in a sense like not trying to get crazy deep or anything, but like you're finding yourself. And I knew like the hardest part when making music is like getting over your voice, right? Like you're like, dang, I sound weird. Yes. And one that's like, now I'm trying to like, you try to imitate people and emulate people because you want to sound like that and you're not happy with it, but then you're like, I gotta put out music. So like, but it's like, it's always a work in progress. So
It is. It's always a work in progress. And for me, it was never like I have songs that sound like other artists for sure, but I was never trying to like duplicate or replicate anybody. I always had my own unique vision for, the Soundbynight stuff. But I'm just not there yet. Like I'm still chasing that vision.
dude, that's crazy. So like, I just thought about this. I'm tripping out right now. So when you're having a vision in music, you're not like really seeing it. You're like futurizing sounds.
Yes.
And that's a trip. Like most people are like, you manifest, like you see things, which I kind of like, like
Goals and stuff.
yeah, it's easier to probably like visualize something, but like to try to hear something is like a way different type of vision to have.
And anyone that's musical kind of knows. Sometimes it's like you hear yourself singing certain lyrics in your head, or even if it's just a melody that plays in your head, and then trying to find that physically, on a keyboard, days later is a challenge, and a lot of people don't want to get into, the nitty gritty of music because they don't really know what it is. And a lot of artists too, we know some, people they have a team that creates all their music for them, and they don't really know how to create music themselves. And so it's tough, but for me, it's always been music first, and that's hurt me a lot. I've lost friends, but that's always been super important to me, is like music first.
Yeah, that's dope. No, you got to put everything into it. And so as you're putting everything into it, we're on this conversation of like music, you're evolving as a musician and getting better and finding yourself. Well, what's this kind of next step in finding yourself? What's this next project you're working on?
Yeah, it's coming out next month. I think on the 31st.
Okay.
It's gonna be 8 songs. Title? No title yet.
Working
no
title.
Well, I know the title, but there's a few different names it could be.
You gotta say, you gotta be like, yeah, like, never drop it.
Yeah. No, that's another thing. Like I'm so bad at is promotion.
Okay.
It's always been my struggle. We go back to like music first, and how you and I know a lot of people who like they have teams who create their production, create their lyrics and everything. And for me, like I always tried to do everything myself, and it hurt me a lot. And it wasn't until I got help from Tans, graphics, a lot of people that we know. I started recording with Chris and Ty and TJ. It wasn't until I started doing that when people started really listening to my stuff, actually like listening to my music. And as an artist, we're given a voice, but some people don't have I don't have that many listeners at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like being okay with that,
Yeah,
because
it's a tough part.
it's still music first at the end of the day.
Right. No, definitely. Yeah, you can definitely get caught up in the head with nobody listening to your music. I mean, back in the day, they were just struggling trying to get it played on the radio, and now it's like you can get it played anywhere, but now it's like so saturated. It's like,
Bro, I can literally spend $30 on a setup, a little USB mic, make a song, and that song can go viral the next day or that night.
yeah.
It's insane. It's so insane. And it's saturated the market, but anything that brings music to more people, and you know this, like anything that brings music to more people has to be a good thing. It has to be. Even with the AI stuff, people talk about like how bad AI is, which is a whole other story. But anything that brings music to more faces and more audiences is like there's some good in that.
No, there's definitely good in music, and music helps people through a lot of different situations.
Yeah.
And so, on speaking on that, and those, how does your music help? What type of person listens to your music? Are you envision someone helping with your music?
Yeah. My music has always been a little bit of things that I've been through and a little bit of fantasy too. Like a combination of that. And so I feel like, someone who listens to my music, depending on the song, a a lot of people go through like a lot of shit, man. Like I know you've been through a lot. I've been through a lot too. It's about getting through that and being stronger, you know? And I feel like at the end of the day, that's what I hope, you know, that's what I hope someone that listens to my music feels like, that there's a sense of like, I got this.
Yeah, a sense of hope. That's dope.
Exactly.
And so you got any favorite songs or singles off this album that you would?
Yeah. Line Drive is gonna be a good song on there. The first track too, intro track.
Intro tracks are always the most important track.
Yeah. That one's gonna be interesting.
Any features on it?
No features. No
Solo. He said solo.
But Tan's helped out a lot with the production. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
You collab with anybody other than Tanner?
Yeah. I got a song with my friend Nina. He goes so hard. Shout out Nina. We'll have to drop his link. But yeah, we got this super hard song that we just did. I got a song with Ray Nash. His name's Taylor. Shout out Ray Nash.
Oh yeah, Ray Nash pulled up on the podcast once, and it was just fire. Yeah, there was too many. We kind of released it. There was just too many secrets that were revealed on the podcast. We couldn't drop. Unfortunately, it was dope though. We found out a lot of stuff, but it was just like he signed too many NDAs that we couldn't really release it, so we had to.
He's got a lot of crazy stories.
It was just
a lot of crazy stories. Shout out Ray.
Shout out Ray.
Shout out Taylor. Yep.
They all pulled up to the shop for it was just a get together night. I don't remember why they pulled up, but it was a dope fun night.
Yeah, man. We'll have to do something. We'll have to do another event here soon.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to do another event. I mean, I feel like the events help people like connect with the music. When I find artists, at least that I've loved, like let me give an example. Mahi Jordan was really dope seeing live. So I was like cool with them, and then I saw them live, and I was like, dang, they're really dope. And so like, though, I feel like those in-person moments you never forget, and I feel like that's where a lot of artists struggle with their fan bases. Like they don't tour enough, or they don't go connect with people, and then it's like then there's also too many people touring and they're not in the studio. And
sometimes they goes to the kitchen and all this stuff.
Yeah, or they're making too much content, but they're not doing enough like perfecting their voice or their production or their knowledge, or there's so many levels to the music.
There's so many levels, and you're right with trying to find sort of that middle ground where like you're doing enough of everything. It's so difficult to do and so difficult to find. For me, like I've always been studio first, and it's not always a good thing because I'm always making music, I'm always recording, but like I'm not doing like enough outside things, and so it's sort of chasing that middle ground again. So important too.
Middle ground is important. I think it's important for artists to decide what type of music artist they want to be. So like, I found this early just in business, what type of business person I want to be, and it's not even like ethically or like good or bad, or like it's more of just like the lifestyle you want to live. So like for me, it's like we went from one shop to 3 shops, and then I realized with those 3 shops how much work, how much friends I lost, time, energy, money. And I was like, I really liked it better when we had one store. You know what I'm saying? Like we had cool events. I got to connect with the homies. We're making money. Things are good. Things are less stressful. And so to turn around back into music, it's like a lot of people say they want to be like this quote unquote fake trait. You know what I'm saying? But like the level of sacrifice you have to get to,
there's so much, and there's so much sacrifice, dude.
Or like even mentally too, like right, like Taylor Swift over here getting bashed on national TV left or right. It's like, I don't think you really want to deal with that. You can barely mentally get over the people around you.
Yeah, it's like the people you know very well are one thing. Once strangers start attacking you, that's like a whole different ball game,
right? So it's like artists. Like I feel like there's some artists that are really good at understanding who they want to be as an artist. Like Party Next Door, he doesn't want to be like a big time radio hit guy. He's like, I just like making music for me. Yeah, I gotta put out songs for the label, and then I do production and writing work, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, and shout out Party Next Door. It's just he's always been a huge inspiration to me. I really fuck with his music, And yeah, dude, it's just about finding your lane.
Right now, that's why I think it's dope that you're like,
Still haven't found it.
Yeah.
I still haven't. I've gone in the right direction, 100%. But yeah, it's always a huge process.
damn, it's dope. I wanted to ask you, so how's the music scene in Rhode Island? What's like East Coast? You don't really
Shout out Daughters, great band out of Rhode Island.
You guys got a lot of rock bands out there?
Yeah, a lot of good rock bands. Damn, bro. Yeah, Lil Rush. Shout out Lil Rush.
Lil Rush, okay.
Is
Is he a rapper or is he a rock band?
he's a rapper.
Okay, I figured the little.
Yeah. But yeah, Daughters, great band out of Rhode Island. But honestly, dude, there's not a lot of like huge artists coming out of Rhode Island right now.
And it's only like 10, 15 minutes from New York, right?
A little bit more than that.
Hour or two?
Like 3 hours and change.
Oh, okay. That's
From the city. But yeah, dude, there's always been a ton of good music coming out of Rhode Island. As far as like big artists out of Rhode Island, you know, I can't think of any like off the top of my head. But there's always good music coming out of them, man. There's a lot of cool places there. You know, to still go to shows, like a lot of cool venues over there. But for me, I always knew, like, from the beginning, I wanted to go to LA. Like, I wanted to go to LA. That was my place. Got to go to California. And so I didn't ditch my, Rhode Island roots. I didn't ditch my East Coast roots. But I don't know. I'm happier here.
Yeah. Is it everything you thought it was going to be?
I will say this, everything about California, like all the pros to me still outweigh the cons.
Okay.
And there's a lot of cons for living in California.
Yeah.
Fuck Newsom. We'll say that. But the pros to me still outweigh the cons. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. No. Yeah. California is a cool place. I always I love being out here too. From not growing up here, but I know a lot of people that come out here for like music for like or whatever they're doing for like a couple weeks or like days at a time. They're like, man, I love it here. I'm like, man, this is every weekend for us.
You have no idea, like the amount of that was me too, coming here, not actually living out here, but visiting, and being like, yo, LA is so fun.
No, it's fun. And sometimes taken for granted when we're out here. We're like, man, we're over this and that. But then, like, other places, it's like you really can't. There's not a lot of exploration as there is out here. I mean,
There's not a lot going on.
there's not a lot going on, but here there's always something going on, which is cool. And then you got New York. I mean, New York's another animal. Like, that'd be a cool place to live.
Yeah.
They got it worse with the living out there than
I mean, it's like flooded right now.
it's like flooded out and
Yeah, shout out to New York, pray for New York. Another great city. I lived out there for a little bit.
Oh, for real?
Briefly. But yeah, I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, no, I haven't visited New York. Well, I visited New York, but I haven't lived out there, spent a season out there fully. But maybe one day. But for now, LA is home. And so when is your single dropping?
It's going to be October 31st, I think.
Oh, Halloween vibes. Okay.
Vibes, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm
8 songs.
8 songs. Oh, the whole EP's dropping on October 31st.
Yes.
Are we releasing any singles before?
No.
Oh, it's just straight coming out. All right, so October 31st. Where can we find you at?
Instagram, Soundbynight, Spotify, Apple Music, Soundbynight, everything Soundbynight.
Easy.
Soundbynight.com. Yeah.
Soundbynight. Well, you guys have here first. And thank you for coming to the No Groom Podcast.